Mitra and Bandhuvam, welcome to South Asia Maps Education Channel. This is your presenter Dr. J. Reddy. We are continuing our fascinating zone on human ecology topics. Human ecology is a branch of science that humans in an ecology, atmosphere, in a habitat or a location or a place. So everything that affects them. Most of our life aspects and sciences can be covered as a part of human ecology. Human ecology predicament, essentially some of these concepts come from Dr. Catton's pioneering work, the Overshoot book, and sequel Bottleneck book. This is part 72. Ecological succession. We'll talk about ecological succession. Here is a Homo Colossus, here is a Homo sapiens. These are human beings. Biological name for a human being is Homo sapiens, and his cousin interbreeding. We can say this is a type of subspecies, this is a type of subspecies of humans. He is a colossus, giant, resource consuming, a prodigal in nature, making lot of demands on the resources, nature, energy, and has a more ecological footprint when compared to his cousin Homo sapiens. It should be HC here, Homo sapiens, and that we are going to discuss today. This is Dr. Catton's book, Work Overshoot and Bottleneck Century, Human Ecology series, and we are continuing this series. In the first part, major part, we discuss around about 50 or so presentations. The next part, we mostly concentrated in the population of different countries in the planet Earth, how many people they're pumping to the planet Earth every year. Take, for example, India pumps around about 100 or 110 million people per decade, humongous number of population to the planet Earth. Next, we looked at important provinces in India, how many people each year or each decade these provinces or states are adding to the Indian population. Now, today, part 72, we are discussing about ecological succession, Homo Colossus and Homo sapiens, the ecological succession, Homo Colossus and Homo sapiens. What is a ecological succession? Ecological succession means very simple, succession of one species into another species. That is a ecological succession or ecological transition is an evolutionary process. Today, the most important dominant species, the numbers are humongous, impact on the planet Earth is humongous. That is called a dominant species. Before human evolution, there used to be other dominant species on the planet Earth, but now the dominant species, the humans. There are two types of humans, or two subspecies of humans, or a sort of virtual quasi-speciation, a sort. Both are interbreeding. Species means all the organisms in the species, they can interbreed. Homo Colossus, Homo sapiens. Homo Colossus is a giant, a big resource consumer. There should be yes here. Homo sapiens, he is a cousin, other subspecies, is a resource simple, less ecological footprint. So, after the evolution of industrial civilization, steam engine, the discoveries of oil, coal and natural gas, and all those technological progress made certain members of Homo sapiens into Homo Colossus. United States has around about 330. Everybody is a Homo Colossus, especially the developed nations. And it's not any country or geographically any part of the world where the people consume more resources. Homo Colossus is a dominant species. Successor species, that means a few decades back, Homo sapiens was a dominant species, succeeded by Homo Colossus. That means a dominant species, a replacing species. Replacing species is a prospective successor. At the time, dominant species, round about 1 century back, Homo sapiens, and its prospective successor were Homo Colossus. Ecological succession is a displacement of one dominant species by another species, a successor species, prospective successor, prospective species. This is a habitat transformation. The habitat that contained in 1800 AD round about 1 billion Homo Colossus now has a billions of Homo sapiens, now has a billions of Homo Colossus succeeded them. This habitat transformation, ecological succession, natural succession is not any military displacement. That means the existing species cannot put a defense against the new successors. That is not possible in ecological succession. In a sense, a dominant species, at that time Homo sapiens, dominant species cannot resist the prospective successor. After 1800 technological revolution, dominant species at that time Homo sapiens, its prospective successor were Homo Colossus. So this Homo sapiens was unable to resist the succession of the new prospective subspecies called Homo Colossus. So this is not something like in the war, if the enemy comes, you can put the military defense and resist it like that. The prospective successors cannot be resisted. The dominant species cannot resist the new prospective successor species. At that time, the dominant species, sapiens, cannot resist the new prospective successor. That is the Homo Colossus. That means you cannot prevent the successful adaptation of Homo Colossus. That's why many people after World War I, World War II in the United States and Western Europe, they become a dominant successors of the Homo sapiens. There are not many Homo sapiens there, but in other parts of the world there are still Homo sapiens. They are trying to become Homo Colossus. That's what it is. This is the successful transformation. But what has happened now? We have drawn down the resources. Drawing down means, and that means the humans dig for the fossil fuel resources, the coal, natural gas and oil. These give the technological prowess and technological sources for a person to become Homo Colossus. That have depleted now. This depletion started around about 2000 AD. Now there are very less of these fossil fuels. Within 2-3 decades, by 2050, the oil drum in the planet Earth will be completely collapsing. Now, the question is the ecological succession. Now we have a dominant species, Homo Colossus. There are 8 billion of them. Majority of them are Homo Colossuses. Even in the interiors of Africa, Asia, everywhere, at least the people will be using the cars and at least a two-wheeler, which is an automobile. They will be drinking the bottled waters. Every village has the stores that has refrigerator, drinks and water selling. All these are the symbols of Homo Colossus, extensive resource-consuming organism. Some are very high Homo Colossuses, some are medium Colossuses, some are close to medium, and very low-level Homo sapiens are trying to become Homo Colossus at low level or modest level. So, 1800 we had Homo sapiens, that is the dominant species, replaced by the Homo Colossuses. Once this drawdown process ends, oil drum collapses on the planet Earth, the Homo Colossus cannot do the activities he is doing. That means in America around about driving 50-60 kilometers per day and so on in many parts of the world. So that means in future the Homo Colossus, which is now a dominant species, will be eventually replaced by again now the less dominant species, that's prospective successor, Homo sapiens. Remember, in the ecological succession, a current dominant species cannot resist the prospective successor. Why? Because if he has a lot of technological prowess, the cars, the electronic gizmos, the computers, the laptops, and so on, once this become expensive at one stage, they will not be available. They will be available very few number of people. Essentially, Homo Colossus status drops to Homo sapiens. That means a new prospective successor. That what it is. Sere means a community succeeds each other at a site. This is the planet Earth, 1800 a Sere. A Sere, a group of community, that is the Homo sapiens. Seral stage means at that particular stage, this is a community Homo sapiens. Now the seral stage in the planet Earth is occupied by Homo Colossus. Climax community is a self-perpetuating community that can never be replaced or out-competed. On the ecological process on the planet Earth, there is generally will not be a climax communities. That's very hard. So humans, once they thought, they replaced the other like Neanderthals and so on, Homo, type of his cousins before. At the time they thought that they are climax community, but they were not. Then Homo sapiens came. Are they climax community? No. And Homo Colossus now, are they climax community? No. So climax community is a self-perpetuating dominant community that survives forever. Generally in ecology, in the planet Earth, that is not possible. 8 billion humans I have shown here. And this is my website, YouTube channel, South Asia Maps Reddy, and there are more than 280 meticulously made videos, and you can go and look at them, and if you like them you can subscribe them and add your comments. That's what we discussed about the part of ecological succession in the planet Earth. Before human evolution, there used to be other dominant species. Then the humans' cousin Neanderthalensis was there. For some time, he was replaced by Homo sapiens. He's a dominant species for millions of years. Now he is replaced by the Homo Colossus. In the ecological success in a dominant species, now the Homo Colossus is facing the intense issues resisting the succession by the Homo sapiens again because of the drawdown process, that is digging for the one-time resources, non-renewable resources on the planet Earth. Coal and oil and natural gas are coming to an end very soon. That's what we talked about today about the ecological succession process between the Homo Colossus and Homo sapiens. Mitravan Bandhuvam, see you later in other presentations. Thank you very much for joining me today.